Ayo, this is Ross here. I'm gonna go over Wizard, and this is for all of you people with like mid-tier builds. You know, you have a couple pieces of raid items, want to just throw something together. This might be the build for you. It's not maxed out to the extreme like I usually do on some of my builds. So yeah, Wizard. I built this one in particular for it's a CC insta killing wizard that has some damage, right? With its greater ruin, and some other things there. You know, has a lot of versatility. Um, Now, compared to a normal crowd control insta kill wizard that maxes things out, that can hold through despairs and stuff, this one really can't. It's more or less a build if you solo a lot. If you're running with a group mainly, you're gonna want to go for something that has way more DCs than this one. Just putting that out there. But as you can see in this video in the background, I'm in on an R6 and I'm doing what I have to do, taking care of the enemies, and it's a lot of fun. You can heal yourself up pretty well too. I don't get the one feat for extra healing with my greater death aura and aura. I forget what that's called, or my negative energy burst. Anyways, I'm gonna dive right into this here and tell you what you need to know, and I'll list my gear. I might talk about a gear set that's even better, but we'll see. This is just what I have for now. It's a couple pieces I put together and it works out pretty damn well. So let's go over that. So I know I was talking about going over gearing, but I think the proper order of things with all builds is to go over like like show a video of some gameplay, go over the meat of the build, like the enhancements and the destinies and stuff like that, and then gearing and so I'm gonna bring up this page here. First, you'll see a Pal Master. I spend 41 points in here. Greater Death Aura is pretty nice. You also get some DCs there for Intelligence, 2 Spell Pen, Heal Amp. You're going to want to go into this tree purely. I do Zombie Form. You see, I actually picked it up here. I need one more point to advance up in the tree, so I got it here too. Wraith Form. Wraith Form's nice, but in Zombie Form, if you look here, it says in vampire form, sorry. Vampire form is what I get right here. As you can see, while in vampire form, and this is the form I like to stay in, you get an extra enhancement DC. The extra DC is kind of nice, you know, it's not going to make or break it, but I just go in it because of that. And also, in Wraith form, you get Featherfall, and as I've gone over before, I don't really like Featherfall. Extra DC, I'll take it. You get some incorporeality from these cores anyways, 10% here, so I mean, Wraith form you get some extra, but it's kind of pick your poison there. Um, and also you'll see I spent 3 points in Archmage. This isn't necessary. I just got some extra spell points here. I'm gonna end up taking it out of here and getting another intel when I get my last piece on my last right here when I upgrade this gem all the way. I'll get one more intel, and then I'll get one more intel from here, which would be a modifier. So if you have more points, you don't need to spend as much in here, or you can actually spend more. Like, you don't need to spend as much points. I actually had to spend a couple to get these intels. You can put points somewhere else, like get this conditioning, which is pretty nice. And again, if you have more racial points, and I like Deep Gnome for a lot of reasons. You get the intel. You can start at level 15. You get color spray in here, although you are going to get it in Fey Dark Illusionist. You can get some illusion DCs. There's a bunch of good things in here, but Phantasmal Killer. You get another Phantasmal Killer from this tree, which is amazing. So I wish I had enough points for all that, but I didn't. I had to end up getting more intelligences out of Fey Dark, and you really want to max those intels out. So sprint boost, it's good on any character, and then I'll get an intel here again when I max on my weapon. So that's basically all there is to it. Necrotic Blast is really good. it does a lot of damage. You get some heal amp here, negative amp here and there. Get the crit chances going up this line here. Yeah, that's all for enhancements. For the, oh hey, yes. Reaper Tree, you want to spend a lot in Dire Thermitard. You're going to need the spell points. You rip through them. You're also going to want 21 hit points in Grim for, or 21 Reaper points in Grim for these extra hit points. Destiny. This here is, you can take this so many different ways. If you're playing a pure DC wizard that's maxing out DCs, you're going to want to go into Magus because you're not going to really be doing anything else, any damage. You don't need Draconic. And you can get this time stop, which is amazing, you know. But what I ended up doing is I went in Draconic. All this stuff's pretty explanatory. This Ruin Intensified, this does a lot of damage. Your Ruin and Greater Ruin, it basically doubles the damage. So that's good. I get Thunder Snow for an extra CC. You know, it slows enemies really good. This is an extra DC here. You know, if I had an extra point, I would spend one more in this enhancements here. Enhancement spell DCs. Pick up Necro here. Then in Magus, I get the spell point pool increased by 10%. So that's that. And when you're playing this thing, you're going to want to go in and crowd control everything first. Use your whole monster mass. Use your color spray, greater color spray. Use your prismatic spray. Try to hold them again. Use Thunder Snow if you can. If there's guys off to the side, hold monster single target or hold person single target. Get them held down first, and then go in with the insta kills like the Circle of Death. Get the guys off to the side with Finger of Death and Phantasmal Killer. Continually hold them in place with hold monster, insta kill them when you can. What I like to do is I go in, I hold the group, I use my Arcane Tempest and Dragon Breath, and it basically kills the whole group. You know, you can ruin, disintegrate, you can use Iceberg on the things that are close to death, and then the things that are full that don't have death block, you use Finger of Death and Phantasmal Killer. That's how you play it. For extra safety, you can use the Death Aura, Greater Death Aura here when you're going into fights. So you could dot up bosses pretty well with Enervation, with Rend the Soul, with Nyax Biting Cold. Those are really good for bosses. And then also when they're held, I do like to use Chain Missiles, Necrotic Blast, Odaloo's Freezing Sphere. But I'm playing this more as a caster, kind of. That mixes in some insta kills, so you can switch it up, use it as you see fits. But again, hold the group, insta kill, Finger of Death, Phantasmal Killer, things off to the side, single target holds the monsters that get away. Constantly throw up that hold monster mass, you know, and then use your big hitters, Dragon Breath, Arcane Tempest. You can throw in Necrotic Blast if you want. Buff up with Wellspring before. Buff up with the extra Reaper DC. I don't even really use this Reaper power much. I have it on my bar, but I don't use it. So Reaper potency for the DCs, Wellspring. And that's basically it. For gear wise, what I did is I just did something simple. I put on an Esoterica set, Order's Garb, Aetherband, and I got this Attunements case. You slot in all your topazes of your spell schools, so like Evocation, Illusion, Necro, Enchantment. You gotta slot all those in. And then I have Sword here. For your intel, your quality potency, or quality spell focus mastery. This is your sacred spell focus, and this is your profane spell focus. So those are all your DCs covered. The rest I have winter for, so I use this for winter, I use this for winter piece, this for winter piece, and this is also your glaciation for your iceberg and your force. So Um, and I think, yep, this has the rest of the force on it, then Stifle Impulse there. Um, it's also part of an autumn piece. This is for my negative damage here. And this has my quality intelligence. This is my other autumn piece. And like I said, Gloryborn Glows Autumn. So you get that universal spell. It's a 3-piece autumn, so you can see right there what it does. And I will actually put a list of the filigrees in my build guide that I'm going to write up here. And I will list a better set in my build guide too. Don't mind that. That's just my alarm for something else. But actually, that's good timing. I should probably wrap that up too. So, and laundry's done. Anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully you learned something. Oh, and I forgot. Always use Greater Ruin on things that are Death Warded or bosses. This is huge damage here. And don't forget to get spell restoring items like the Epic Ring of Spell Storing, Legendary Ring of Spell Storing, your Mysterious Bauble, spell point potions if you want, but try not to use those. And have fun with this build. I've had a lot of fun with it. It can hold things and kill things on R10s like you won't believe it. Just if there's despairs, you're really going to struggle a little bit with this particular build. Just because I get the Ruin, Greater Ruin, I get some other things that pure DC casters don't get. But yeah, so have fun, and thank you for watching, and goodbye.